And we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live session of the GrowVeg Challenge. My name is Chinenye, the social media manager for Leverage Seeds Limited, and I'm your host for tonight. I also have here with us our co-host Sharon. Sharon, kindly introduce yourself to the audience. All right. I think Sharon's having a network issue. We also have here our special guest speaker, Dr. Bidemi Talabi, who will be talking to us about what GrowVeg Challenge entails. And we are going to be hearing from him several questions most of us here have at the back of our mind. You're welcome, Doctor. Kindly introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you very much, Neye and Sharon, for having me. I want to say good evening to our viewers. Good evening if you're in the UAE. Good evening also if you're in Nigeria. I think it should be morning in or afternoon in the United States. So I am so much happy and excited to come online tonight to talk to you guys. I look forward to interacting and enjoying the discussion. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to ask you these questions tonight, and thank you for accepting our invitation to be here with us tonight. So, the first question I have for you, Doctor, is I want you to take us back to the beginning and tell us what inspired you to create the GrowVeg Challenge and what problems are you trying to solve with this challenge?
Oh, wow. Thank you very much for this amazing question. So,
Yes, sir.
actually, the GrowVeg Challenge just came as an idea because, I've been in the agricultural sector for quite some time now. And, apart from being in research, I've also worked in production for a lot of years. So, I have a lot of understanding of how things work. So I have a lot of people reaching out to me. They have a lot of problems on their feed while trying to grow their crop, and then they want me to help them provide solutions to their challenges and their problems. So because of this, I have been able to see that many of them there is this knowledge gap, like people doing things the wrong way, misconceptions, not having the right idea, the complete information, and all of these things. So I was just wondering where are people? A lot of people believe that agriculture is just what anybody can do. Yes, anybody can do agriculture, but there's the need for the right knowledge on how to do it. So people having suboptimal results from their production and all of these things because they don't have the right knowledge. So this was one of the ideas. Another thing also is that I saw a lot of people who actually had this test and hunger for knowledge. They really wanted the knowledge. Some of them, they either don't know how to get it or they don't have access to where to get the knowledge. Some of them have access to where they could get the knowledge, but it requires some of them to go to a physical location and learn for some months and all of these things. So for people who are professionals or old people, it's difficult for them to leave their place of residence and go and stay, in a particular location and learn for some months. So I saw this as something that we could really help. And also some of these programs that require physical training, some also has this age limit. So that means if you're not within that age bracket, you're automatically excluded from, having the opportunity to learn and probably implement. Or so all of these things were some of the things that we had in mind, or some of the the questions and the challenges we saw that a lot of people were having, and we were just looking up for how to solve. Again, another thing I observed over the years is that most people go for physical trainings also, but once they leave the training, they never get to implement what they have learned in their lifetime. More than 95% of people, they just go for trainings, get the certificates, and they will never practice. So this was so many of these things that we looked out for, and we decided that we're going to use this to form a platform where people can have the opportunity to learn. Then they would also be mandated to implement what they have learned under our auspices and using our production guide. And this is what we are doing already. And this is just the background of how it all started. So I spoke to a lot of other friends and colleagues and also people who are ahead of me who also had interest in giving back to the society. They've benefited so much from Nigeria training, the educational system of Nigeria. We all benefited from it, and we wanted to give back, right? So, for example, and this is why we have a lot of instructors from across different continents. For example, myself, I'm based in the United Arab Emirates in Dubai. I have other instructors in Australia. Dr. Richard is in Australia. Dr. Tonybo is in the United States of America. Dr. Ajayo is in China. And Professor M.A.B. Fakorede is in Nigeria. So we all came together and said, okay, let's create this platform. People will learn for the first 20 days online, the A to Z of vegetable production. They will be mandated to implement what they have learned using our production guide and under our auspices. Again, we are giving them a platform where they can interact with other individuals who are like-minded, people who are doing the same thing that you are doing. You can interact with them, network with them, ask questions, get answers, seek counsel, and all of this are the things that we eventually brought together, and that those were the things that we were trying to solve by this platform or this initiative called GrowVeg Challenge. Thank you very much. I don't know if I answered the question.
Yes, you did. You did. We can see how well thought out the plan was. And we can see that you really planned and considered your audience. And we commend you and all the GrowVeg instructors for coming together to bring about this great initiative. Thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity. And
Yeah.
I would like to use this opportunity to welcome those who have joined us tonight. Thank you, Daud Fazias. Good evening to you as well. Good evening to you, Victory. Obusola Thomas, good evening to you as well. Ilori Jeremiah, good evening to you. Mr. Tunde, good evening to you. Afan, good evening to you. And thank you all for joining. Thank you for listening to Dr. Bidemi tonight. I'll be handing over to my co host, Sharon, to continue with the questions for Doctor. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. So I'll be asking
Yes.
Doctor the next question. It says, GrowVeg Challenge 3.0 is coming. What is new and exciting about this edition compared to the previous one?
Okay, thank you very much for this wonderful question. As you can see that everything is evolving, nothing is static in life, right? So the only constant thing is change. So we see that there are new things coming up every day, right? We have a lot of advances in agricultural research. We have a lot of, now AI has taken over data analytics and a lot of a lot of wonderful and amazing, ideas, innovations, and then findings, new discoveries. So for the GrowVeg 3.0 participants, they should anticipate that there would be some incorporations of new advances in agricultural research, sustainable agricultural practices, precision agriculture. A lot of things are coming up on a daily basis. And thank God you have instructors that are also dynamic. We are also moving, we are pacing up with the events. In fact, some of us are ahead of the we're ahead of the innovation and advances. We are part of it, right? So we are able to bring this also to bear on whatever we are doing. So there will be one way or the other that we are going to be incorporating, these new findings or these new advances in agricultural research into the GrowVeg Challenge 3.0, and participants can be very, very much assured that they will be having something a bit new and better than what the current set is experiencing. If you have interactions with those who are presently undergoing the GrowVeg Challenge 2.0, you must have heard from them that a lot of things that they are learning is much more than what the first set learned, because we are looking for how to make things better and how to also improve on our deliveries and our offerings. So that is what I have to say to that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jacob. Thank you so much. We can see that there's more to learn in 3.0 for viewers. So if you missed out in 2.0, you're not missing out when you register for 3.0. So I encourage you all to register for 3.0, and registration is ongoing. Thank you so much, Doctor. We know most people have misconception and about growing their own vegetables. Um, so, what's one misconception people have about growing their own vegetables that this challenge will help to clear up?
Okay, thank you very much, Nayen, for that wonderful question. Actually, yeah, you're asking me for just one misconception. There are a lot of misconceptions, that people have that this challenge is helping them to clear. But one of it that I would like to just point out very quickly is one that has to do with people thinking that they need, you know, a big, like a garden, or they need a big area of land, or they need a greenhouse, like they need a lot of resources to actually get started with producing their own vegetables. It's a big misconception that this challenge is helping people to clear up. Now, for example, in this challenge we have a lot of participants that are using sustainable agricultural practices. Like some people are using broken buckets. That means you are reusing something that should have ended its life cycle to carry out another activity, right? That's a sustainable approach. We have people now also who are growing in buckets. We have people who are growing in bags. We have people who are growing in their balconies, right? In their backyards. So you don't really need too much to get started. And again, another misconception which is linked to this as well is that you don't need too much resources. A lot of people are improvising with this challenge. They have been able to see, because there's one philosophy we have always talked about, that every day people can grow healthy crops profitably using whatever resources they have at their disposal once they have the right knowledge and expert guidance. I know a lot of people, some of our participants, they were able to make their own calcium from eggshell, right? So this eggshell that people normally throw away, our participants are using it to make their own calcium. I know one of the participants who actually got his own mulch, his own plastic mulch from this fertilizer bag. So there are a lot of things that people never knew about that they are beginning to see from this challenge, that, oh, this is a way to make it. People are making their own manure tea from the training, right? So a lot of things that misconception. You don't need too much resources to get started, right? You don't need too much resources. Whatever you already have so far can give you almost about 60% of what you need. The remaining 30% might not be something that will be really difficult for you to get. So this is that should be my response to that question. But if you need me to
Thank
expand, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you so much for clearing up the misconception. I'm sure all our viewers here have heard from you, and I'm sure they too they will know that there's more to growing vegetables on your own. So, Doctor, we are aware that you are one of the lead instructors for the GrowVeg Challenge, especially the 3.0. So, I want to know what your teaching style is like. Is it more, are we getting practicals, or is it more of hands on learning, or is it more of theory based learning?
Wow. Thank you very much for this amazing question. For me, if you also look at the way we have structured out the GrowVeg challenge, then it would have given you an idea of my pattern of teaching. I like to, first teach people, give illustrations, and I like them to now have what we call this experiential knowledge. So, and this is just my own approach. When you learn something, you also try to put it to practice, and this is the way to internalize that knowledge. Experiential knowledge is, I like people to get hands-on. You learn the theoretical part, learn the practical, and internalize whatever you have learned. So this is my approach, and everywhere I find myself, I try to do this as well. And I paint a lot of analogies when I'm teaching. I like to relate things that I'm talking about with what is already in existence that people understand. Sometimes I even, from one of my recent posts, I made analogies about how we as humans are taking care of ourselves and how it relates to plants and all of these things. So these are the methods that I usually use to teach people, so that when they are not with me, they can always remember some of those stories and they can easily use it to get their solutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We love your teaching style. And yes, I'm sure the participants that have not registered are looking forward to learning from you. Even those who have registered are looking forward to learning from you in the 3.0. I'm sure you have a lot of packed and new teaching styles to present to them. Thank you so much, sir.
You
So far we've been seeing success stories from our past participants, from GrowVeg Challenge past participants. So out of all these success stories we've been seeing online, which one of them stood out for you?
Hmm. Wow. Okay. Thank you very much. Well, success stories from participants. Yes, we've gotten a lot of success stories. In fact, we are overwhelmed, with the feedbacks we are getting from the participants. But the one that stood out for me is actually common to most of the participants. Most of them, okay, wait. Now, there is a difference between feedback and success stories, right? So I don't want to mix it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to mix it. Okay. So some of the success stories that stood out for me so far, there was one of our participants from GrowVeg Challenge 1.0. He came back and he posted on the platform where, he was even one of the winners that got 200,000 naira. And he came back to post, yeah, he came back to post the cucumbers he recently harvested. This was about 2 weeks ago. And then he also posted his habanero feed. I was extremely excited, because it stood out for me because it was a major success story. He was already operating on a low scale. He's not as he was not doing it before. He came, he learned, he implemented, and he was one of the participants that went home with the prize. He went home with 200,000 and he's now doing far better than he was doing. So I was really very much impressed because that was the whole idea. We wanted to empower people as well, right? But we were not just going to put money in the hands of people who wanted to do try and error. We wanted to be sure so somebody has, practiced and has really internalized the
Yeah.
knowledge. Because if you want to do try and error, use your money to do try and error. Don't use another person's money. So that was what actually stood out for me. And of course, common feedbacks from most of the participants is that they are getting far more than what they have paid for can offer, which is what I really appreciate. But the success story, like I mentioned, is one of these particular participants, Fasasi Bashiruddin. That's his name. So you can even check him online. But Fasasi Bashiruddin, that's his name. The guy really made a lot of money this year. And also, there was another one which I must mention, actually, sorry. This man actually joined our party. I will not mention his name so that some people will not go and take money from him. Before he joined the GrowVeg Challenge 1.0, he already did tomato production and he had a very poor outing, right? He lost a lot of money. And by the time he did GrowVeg Challenge 1.0 and he learned what we were offering him and all of that, I went back, he made over even up to 3 million plus. From how many plots? Is it two plots or one plot thereabout? Like two plots. So it was really a success story also for me, but I don't have his permission to share. I have the permission of Bashirudi because he already shared that even publicly. So I know he wouldn't mind. So these are some stories that really stood out for me. I'm really very much happy because I believe we are impacting lives and we are seeing the results. So it's no longer news. We are seeing the evidence all around us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate that the success stories are evident of what the GrowVeg Challenge is doing for our participants. Um, aside from learning how to grow vegetables, what other benefits do our participants stand to gain by joining the program?
Wow. Thank you very much for this amazing question. This is a very, very brilliant question from you. So, it's not just about learning how to grow vegetables, okay? Now, when you learn, of course, learning how to grow vegetables is the primary aim of this initiative. People, when they learn how to grow this vegetable, we have people who are already using the knowledge right now to
Yes.
become better staff at their place of work. We have people already using this knowledge to grow their own vegetables in a healthy way and sustainable way. We have people also who are using this knowledge already. They have monetized the knowledge, right? Some people are serving as consultants already to other people who want to grow their own vegetables or set up their farms or learn about vegetable production. I know of some participants who have personally reached out to me to appreciate us for this initiative and they told me about what they have been doing with the knowledge. So this is one of the things that you stand to gain apart from learning how to grow vegetables. You get to monetize your skills. You get to use it to become better at your workplace, in your profession, or whatever you are doing, right? Because many people they are really surprised that even somebody told me that the knowledge of data analytics was incorporated into part of this course on how to select the type of crop to grow, on the market trends, and a lot of other things. So there are a lot of things to learn. So people are actually getting more than just learning how to grow vegetables. That's one. Another thing also is the gift of access. I don't joke with access because I know what it means to have access to high value individuals. So many people, you would agree with me, every day I receive more than 100 DMs. How many do I want to attend to, right? And then, but when I see a message from a GrowVeg participant, I tell you, I prioritize responding to those messages. So it's a gift I believe people should appreciate. If you don't appreciate it, there's left to you because it's not just me that they have that access to. They have access to all the other instructors as well. They have access to Dr. Richard in Australia, like I mentioned. They have access to Dr. Toyinbo in US. They have access to Dr. Ajayo in China. They have access to Professor Emebi Fakorede, who was my own supervisor for my master's and my PhD thesis, right? And in fact, Professor Fakorede personally told me that I enjoy receiving their messages because he's always happy to respond. So imagine having a direct access. It's not like you're talking to my executive assistant. Though I have executive assistants, I have a lot of people who could have been intermediaries between me and the participant. But no, they have my direct number, they have my direct Dubai number, they have my direct Nigeria number. They can easily reach out to me. A lot of them reach out to me and I respond. And not just that, apart from learning how to grow vegetables, also, they have opportunity to network with themselves, amongst themselves. We have a lot of high value individuals in the platform. You would not know. One of the participants has more than 600 acres of land, and he was asking me that he wanted to employ me. He wanted to engage me to come and manage a farm or be a consultant and all of these things. And I was like, wow, so you have all of this. There's one of the participants also who has a lot of greenhouses. You wouldn't know that there are a lot of people like this on the platform. There were some people that were recommended by Commissioner of Agriculture, former Deputy Commissioner, and a lot of things like this on this same platform. There are a lot of rich men on the platform who wanted to a lot of people from US, UK. You can remember we have people from more than 8 countries on this platform. So if you know how to play your game very well, it's not just about learning about vegetables. This is a major network. Now we are going to be starting the Billionaire Farmers Mentorship Program, which is for all the GrowVeg participants. You will see a lot of people are there, very rich, very influential people, but you don't know. They are just there and they are silent, and you don't know that they just want to learn the trade and then use that knowledge to supervise people who probably will be working under them. So there's a lot of things, like I mentioned, to benefit from this initiative. So, and you can also grow your vegetables after you have learned it and make a lot of money as well. All right. So these are the things you get apart from just learning vegetables. I believe I answered your question there.
Yes, indeed, sir. Thank you so much. We really appreciate the benefit. At least our participants and viewers here can hear the benefits they stand to gain when they register for GrowVeg Challenge 3.0. So I'd like to recognize our viewers. Thank you for those who are just joining. You're all welcome. Olauti, you're welcome. Good evening to you as well. Ayeni, good evening to you as well. You're welcome. Felix asks, how can I register? And in Zambia. So, Felix, you can register by visiting the link as displayed on the screen, growveg.leveragefresh.com, to register for GrowVeg Challenge 3.0, or you can visit Doctor's Facebook page or Leverage Fresh Limited Facebook page as well, and you will see the steps on how to register for this. Um, Gabriel says Dr. Bidemi is the best. Yes, he truly is the best. We have a live testimony from Chinyere. She says, please, I'll encourage everyone to register and learn. I am a beneficiary of the GrowVeg Challenge, and I must testify that it is worth it. Thanks to the organizers of the challenge. Thank you so much, Chinyere, for this wonderful testimony. We appreciate this, and I'm sure others too are seeing your comment as well. Olaoye, good evening to you as well. Thank you all for joining. And also thank you, Dr. Bidemi, for having us this evening. And we have more questions for you, sir, if you are allowed.
Sure. That's
All
why
right.
I'm here. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
man.
Okay. So we are looking at after the program, the GrowVeg Challenge 3.0. So after the program, what happens? Do participants get support or mentorship?
Wow, thank you very much for that amazing question. So one of the things that we promise participants is actually mentorship, and
Yes.
initially we didn't start it. It's going to be a group mentorship anyway, but that notwithstanding, it's going to be difficult for me to do one-on-one for over 150 or 140 participants, and now we're getting more, right. So but there where you are going to have opportunity for to learn, to be mentored on personal development, business development, and a couple of even career development as well, because by God's grace I believe in those parts I've excelled a bit, if not much, right? So we are going to be starting in April, and I think the hat is already out. So participants will have the opportunity. So it will be an ongoing thing for you, because now this training is about the business and all of these things. There are some other personal development stuff that you might really need to keep up, with the pace of events, and to become better person as an individual and all of these things. So, and also there is an ongoing support, because once you are a member, you are always a member. The participants, they have access to the platform for 2 years. So all the training materials and everything, in fact, the training materials, for example, all the production guides, they already have access to them because they could download them directly, But the training platform itself, where they learned the 20 days online training and all of that, they have access for 2 years. The practical videos as well, they have access for 2 years, right? So it's a lot for you to So, and apart from that as well, we are not dismantling the platform. There's a WhatsApp group. We also have initially we had a Telegram. I don't know if the project lead would want to add that. It's his call. So, but the fact remains that people continue to interact even after the challenge is over. I still see some interactions going on the GrowVeg Challenge 1.0. Like I mentioned, I saw the testimony from that guy because the platform was still in existence, right? So it's going to continue. We are not going to end there, and we are going to be forming, a community of its own actually. And once we start this mentorship, it's a billionaire farmers mentorship program. We are going to be, having ourselves, we'll set our goals together beginning of the year, have a lot of discussions. Of course, I will be giving some people opportunity also for maybe 30 minutes one-on-one for their strategical, because not everything is general to everyone, right? There will be some specific things also that relates to individuals based on their own specific situation, location, resources, and a lot of other things. So we are going to be together for a very long time. So you can be very sure of that. Yeah. So we are always happy to support them, and because the whole idea is not just to make people register
Yeah.
or only for this. We want to see their stories. We want to be a part of it, a part of their success story. So that's why we are ensuring that. So after you have even done your first production, it was successful. We want to see the subsequent productions as well that you are doing. You can always reach out to us any day, anytime. You have the links, you have the access already. So it's always going to be continuous. Yeah, it's not going to stop. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I, for one, I'm also looking forward to this Billionaire mentorship platform because it sounds so enticing. I'm sure our
Yeah.
viewers here are excited to know more about it and also want to be a part of it. So, for those who are still just joining and those who are still here, remember to register by joining the GrowVeg Challenge 3.0. You can visit the link as displayed on the screen, growveg.leveragefresh.com, and then you'll be part of this exciting journey. Thank you all, and thank you, Doctor, again. Um,
You come, it's my
so we know
pleasure.
we have some people who are interested in GrowVeg Challenge, but maybe they're not ready to join or participate. So, are there other ways they can get involved, like maybe through sponsorship or becoming an ambassador for the GrowVeg Challenge?
Yes. Thank you very much for that amazing question again. Yeah, Nayen. You are really asking me very, very thought provoking questions tonight. Yeah, there are a lot of ways to participate. Now, you can actually sponsor somebody. During even the last, this ongoing GrowVeg 2.0, I heard there was a guy from the UK. He sponsored three people in Nigeria. There was another guy from Germany. He paid for two. Some people pay for one. So you might not be the one who really needs the knowledge, right? But you might see maybe there's somebody in your community that you really want to empower, right? And maybe you are a House of Representative member or you are a senator, and then you want people to really, acquire the right knowledge. Yeah, well, GrowVeg Challenge is, of course, I don't expect a senator to come and sit down and be taking GrowVeg Challenge, but it can sponsor a lot of people from his constituents, right? Yeah. So, and like I mentioned, we had a lot of recommendations, even from high placed individuals, like from the former commissioner of agriculture and all of these things. And we have the people who are already undergoing the participation. So you can recommend to people, you can also sponsor them. You can also sponsor them. And this is one thing I do. When I attend a training, I sponsor my staff for the training also. There was a training I attended, was it last year or 2 years before? The one that was organized by this woman. I can't remember. This Data Orb Academy. Almost about four of my staff that after I took the training, I saw it was very good. I recommended to my staff as well. You know, so the same thing when you see something like this, you can recommend to people. You can even, it's like a gift. It's a gift when you give this kind of training to people. It's a gift that they will never forget you about. They will never forget in their lives, and anytime they remember the knowledge, they remember you. Then, as an ambassador, as an ambassador, yeah, you can be an ambassador. We can have a discussion around that. I've seen a lot of people who told me, because now this initiative actually has opportunities for winners to be ambassadors. But the ambassador is not limited to one person. So we can have far more than one person as ambassador. So if you are coming as an ambassador, we are very much happy to support you. We are very much happy to, partner with you, and you can help us to, take the initiative to the next level. The most important thing to us is for us to reach as many people as really need the right knowledge for them to
Yes.
use it the right way. And I'm so much happy also that this training is beyond the boundaries of beyond the boundaries of any country, right? Because we have people from 8 countries already. We have people from UK, US, Canada. We have people from this Dominican Republic. We have people from Kenya. You know, We have people from Nigeria, Ghana. We have almighty Nigeria. you know, so, so it's something that you can be a part of, and we can really recognize you also for your effort and your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate that. Abraham Sunday says, "Thank God for yes." He's thanking you for joining the train live session today. Thank you so much, Abraham. And we also thank all our viewers that have been with us right from the beginning to this moment. I'm sure we've learned so much from Dr. Bidemi, and know we also are looking forward to learning more from him through the GrowVeg Challenge 3.0. So you make sure you all register. Remember to register for the GrowVeg Challenge 3.0 using the link on the screen. Thank you so much. I have one final question for you, Doctor. So this is concerning those who are yet to register. If I would, you had one advice, what would it be to convince someone to sign up today?
Okay. Thank you very much, Naye. Yeah, this is my final advice. All right. You know that the world is evolving, and food security and food self-sufficiency is now what every country is concerned about. For those of you can remember
Yes.
during COVID-19, right? You remember that food can be weaponized, right? Whoever feeds you can control you, and people can decide not to actually supply food to you, right? And you beg like a baby. So my final advice is that please join this noble cause of contributing to food security of your dear nations, and by extension the food self-sufficiency. You all know the definition, so I don't need to start that all over again, right? So please, I will just advise you in your own little way, you can join this initiative to learn and be able to contribute, significantly to the food security of your dear country. It doesn't have to be Nigeria. So irrespective of where you are, you can join this initiative, learn how to do that, and then, by extension, you can also contribute to the food self-sufficiency of your country as well. And your future self will thank you for that. Thank you very much. I don't know if I answered your request or your question.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Faziat. Says thank you, Dr. Abidemi.
Thank you.
Thank you also, Blessed Ben. He said, good one.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power. Yes, knowledge is power indeed. So we've come to the end. That's all the questions we have for you, Doctor. Thank you for the platform, for giving us the opportunity to ask you all these questions. And thank you for joining us as well, all our viewers. We appreciate the time you've taken out to listen to Dr. Bidemi tonight. And we are encouraging you all to please share this video with others who may really need to get it, because so many people are looking for this opportunity. So I encourage you to share with your friends, share with your family members, and share with those around you. And we look forward to seeing you again to join us on our next live session. Thank you so much. Thank you, Doctor. And
Thank you, Daniel.
bye for
Thank you
now,
so much.
everyone. Yes.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.